I've never heard that football is described this way. It's note-taking.
Student of the game.
How well he does. Yeah.
Student of the game.
Does that really translate to the field? How do you see that?
Yes, it does. It's like a class. Football is like a class. And what you do is you study for a class. If it's history or English or anything like that, as you study your subject, you take great notes. And to me, it's all about, if you want to learn it, you write it down. Okay? And football is no different than any class on campus. And so we study it that way and teach guys to study the game from that standpoint, from that viewpoint of, taking great notes. And we check the notes of our players and make sure that they're writing things down the right way. And when they study film, they write down their notes. And again, it's all about being a good student of the game. Football is a fairly complex game. Okay, as I think you guys understand, or I think you do. And so you've really got to put a lot of time and effort into studying the game. A tremendous amount of hours studying film. And again, to me, the key component towards learning something is your note-taking. And a lot of kids don't understand how to take, notes as far as football is concerned. And so we teach them how to do that. And I think at the end of the day, it helps your team be a smarter football team and make better decisions on the field.
And yet, what you're looking for out of the field is instinct and not having to think about it.
No, but you can't play instinctively unless you know what to do. Unless you know what to do, there's no way to be an instinctive football player. It isn't just like you did in Pop Warner in high school and just run with the ball, chase the ball. There's schemes, and we talk on every single play, everybody's got a job to do. And being able to do your job entails, a lot of understanding. And so, it's a very important piece of it is our guys taking the time away from the field to study the game.
How did it translate for James in Murfreesboro?
He's doing a good job. James is really, like I said, I don't think it's too big for him. I think that he is picking things up, trying not to ask too much of him because he is a young guy. But again, he's done a nice job, and I thought for the most part he did a good job in the Middle Tennessee game. He'll learn from that game and be much improved this week. The first game jitters are kind of out of the way, and I think he'll have a better understanding.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you about. Do you think that you talked about the speed of the game that a lot of the freshmen have to adjust to that first game? Is that
Not
enough?
just the freshmen. I think it's everybody. Particularly on the defensive side of the ball, that is adjusting to a specific style of offense that is an up-tempo, fast-break offense. There's a lot of moving parts as you get lined up, as you get calls, as you execute the defense. And so I think everybody on the team has a real transition into acclimating to the speed of the game.
But for kids who have, their last games were at the high school level, there's that big jump. Can you have an adjustment after one game for those kids, or?
Yeah, I know. I think everybody will be after one game. There'll be a little bit. There's kind of that understanding that, hey, you know what? I made it through, and I can do this, and they'll keep getting better as long as they be a good student of the game. As long as they stay up with their study habits, as long as each and every day they do a great job in preparation. I truly believe we played well against Middle Tennessee because we had a real sense of urgency in preparation. And we've got to keep that sense of urgency, and that's hard to do. That's hard to do over the course of a 13-week season. And so, but that's what we have to do.
But the road game is a little different for a first-year player than playing at home in a new stadium. Do you maybe anticipate for the freshmen, maybe a little jitters just being in front of the home crowd and getting through that?
I don't know. Obviously I think that there's a little bit more of that feeling on the road. I think at home there's going to be because these guys have been in TCF Bank Stadium a lot since they've been here. I think there's going to be a little bit more level of comfort. Now, without question, there's going to be some guys that are a little nervous and butterflies, and they should. That's a good thing, you know. So, but I think for the most part, the level of comfort at home is greater than it is on the road.
You said in the past, you know, you worked a lot with the wide receivers and their blocking. You know, how you're switching your identity more to a power running game. How do the wide receivers adjust to that? And what kind of role do you see them playing in this kind of?
Well, again, you know, they did a nice job. They did a great job in the first game, and you know, as we move forward, we'll certainly be more balanced, as I've said, and incorporate the throwing game more into what we're trying to do. But again, we want to establish the fact that each and every game we're in, we're going to run the football and run it well. And those guys are such a big part of our running game because we run a lot of plays to the edge. We get the back into the secondary. Their blocks are the key to making it an explosive run, which is a run of 12 yards or more. And so there's a lot of detail involved with our wide receivers as far as the run game's concerned, and understanding when to crack the safety, when to stay on the corner, when to push crack, when to, you know, there's a lot to it.
Right. How important is it to have Weber's, you know, experience back there when he can switch roles, when he has to pass when he needs to, where he, you know, did several times during that game, or when he needs to?
I thought Adam was extremely composed in the game. I just really thought he did a very nice job of managing our offense, getting us in the right play, handling the play clock extremely well. He just his experience really shows up.
You do anything? Having seen film, were you able to detect anything that went wrong on Eric's 240-yard field goal?
No, you know what, Phil? I just think that he got a little bit ahead of himself because he missed both kicks left. And he missed them. They were both. The first one was really close, and the second one was a little further up, but he missed them left. And so, you know, just like a golf swing where you get ahead of yourself a little bit, his leg swing, and that forces the ball to go left. And so, you know, and I think he was amped up a little bit, and you know, and wanting to drive the ball, and he hit both balls well. He got him up in the air and he hit him. I just think he was a little bit ahead of himself.
Did you do anything differently other than just practice a lot this week now?
With him?
With him, yeah.
He's just, you know, he has a normal game week routine, and he goes through his routine. And you know, like I said, I think he'll settle down. We set up a 2-minute drive today at the end of practice, and I wanted to set it up so that he had an opportunity to win the game with a long field goal. And he hit a 47-yarder at the end of practice. Really hit it true, and so, you know, that should give him a good little boost.
Did you go over the stadium?